This is a video tutorial for the Happy Days pocket wall hanger. It's a really useful wall hanger. I use mine to put my lanyard in, my keys in and my little coin purse in, all ready for next day. You will need fabric for the pockets, fabric for the outer, optional interfacing, ribbon, a piece of doweling and a heat erasable pen, and this is how we make it. Start by making the pocket. Fold your pocket fabric over right sides together, line up all the sides and edges and press a nice sharp crease. Next, pop a few clips along there. Next, use a 1/4 inch seam allowance and starting at the top, sew all the way down to the bottom. I've sewn all the way down and now I'm going to turn it the right way. I've turned it the right way around and now I'm going to take it over to the iron and I'm going to press along here. Once you've pressed it, take it over to your sewing machine and sew a top stitch all the way along. You might want to use your fancy stitch at this stage. I've top stitched all the way along and now I'm going to repeat this for the other pockets. I've repeated for all pockets and I'm going to put these to one side while I work on the tab. Making the tab. Take your tab fabric and fold it right sides together in half. Make sure that your sides and your bottom edges all line up and then pop some clips along there and along there. I've clipped and now I'm going to take it over the sewing machine and I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance starting at the top at the fold line, sew all the way down to the bottom and do the same on this side, leaving the bottom open. I've sewn all the way along that one side and that side and I'm going to snip the corners and then I'm going to turn it the right way through the gap. I've turned the tab the right way around and now I need to fold it in half, and it's quite important to remember to fold the folded edge towards the raw edge, and once again match up your sides and edges and then take it over to your iron and press. And now I'm going to put it to one side. Now working on the outer pieces of the pocket wall hanger, I've ironed some interfacing onto the back of the fabric which will form the front of my wall hanger. It is optional. If you're using heavier weight canvas, you may not need it. We're now going to draw the lines for placing the pockets on. Take your ruler and measure 4 centimetres from the bottom edge upwards, and as I've done, draw a line. Ensure that this is the bottom of your fabric. If you're using directional fabric, it's very important. Place your pocket on the line that you've just drawn and pin into place. I've pinned the bottom of the pocket into place and now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and using about 1/8 of an inch, so relatively close to the edge, sew all the way along there and stop. I've sewn the bottom of the pocket on and now using the top of this pocket as a marker, measure from the top edge 3 centimetres and draw a line. Place your next pocket on the line you've drawn and pop some pins in. I've placed and pinned the next pocket into place, and I'm going to take it over the sewing machine as before and sew 1/8 of an inch all the way down. I've sewn the second pocket on, and as I did before, measured 3 centimetres and drawn a line all the way across. I've pinned, and now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and as I did before, 1/8 of an inch, sew all the way down and stop. To form the pocket shape as I've done on these two, you need to place your pocket edge and the pocket outer raw edges together, and then clip there at the bottom and work your way up. You can use pins if you want to. I just prefer clips. I'm using 3 clips, but you could use more. So the 2 edges line up, and then do the same for this edge. And add some clips. Take your time with this, because it does feel a bit weird to be doing it this way. There. And then you're getting the look of the pockets. The next stage is to tack the pockets into place. The tacking won't be seen in the final make, so we sew relatively close to the edge all the way along and along there. These are just holding stitches to keep the pocket in place. And repeat for the other 2. I've carefully tacked all the pockets into place. This is just to stop them moving. I've ensured that all the bottom of the pockets are sewn into place as well. And now I'm going to place the back outer on top. Place your back outer piece right sides together on top. If you are using directional fabric, check the direction of your fabric, ensuring that this is the bottom of your wall hanging. Then place it on top and line up all the sides and the edges. It will feel a little bit strange because you've got bulkiness of the pockets, but it will go. And then once you're happy with it, add some clips along the long sides, the bottom and the other long side. Once you've clipped your 2 outers together, it's time to do some sewing. Starting 1 centimetre in from this edge, sew along and stop, and then all the way down to the bottom and stop, across the bottom and stop, and then carefully all up here. Remember, you are sewing over quite a few layers now because you've got your pockets in place. And then right to the top. When you get to the top, stop and then sew 1 centimetre across the top. This is so we're leaving a gap for turning and also to pop the tab in. I'll be using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all the way around. I've sewn all the way around, joining the 2 outers together, and now I'm going to turn it the right way through the gap I've got at the top. I've turned the right way and I folded in my seam allowance at the top, and now I'm taking my tab that I made earlier, which is folded in half. Again, this is the raw edge here, and I'm going to sandwich the tab through this gap I left at the top. I've inserted the tab into place, I've pinned it, and I'm going to sew all the way across to keep it into place. I've top stitched all the way along, securing the tab. I've inserted a dowel and I've added my ribbon. And that's your pocket wall hanger all finished.